I remember the summer air, thick with the scent of honeysuckle and the promise of endless days. Our little farm in rural Georgia wasn't much, but it was our everything. My siblings, Paul and Rosie, and I would chase fireflies until dusk painted the sky in shades of bruised purple and fiery orange. My mother, Caroline, had a laugh that could rival the sweetest birdsong, and her hands, though calloused from work, were always soft when they held mine. My father, a man of quiet strength, taught me to read the land as if it were a beloved book. We didn't have much, no grand mansions or fancy toys, but we had something far more precious, a home filled with a simple, profound love. We were a tapestry woven with threads of resilience and joy, each day a new stitch in a masterpiece of belonging. Then, the storm came. Not one of nature's, but a cruel, silent tempest that ripped through the very fabric of our lives. It was May 12th, a day forever etched into the deepest caverns of my memory, the day the music stopped. Mother, vibrant and full of life, was suddenly gone, taken by the ruthless grip of pneumonia. Her absence was a gaping wound, a silence so profound it screamed. I was only 10, a child still clinging to the edges of innocence, and suddenly, the world I knew, the world I cherished, dissolved into a terrifying void. The vibrant hues of summer faded to a monochrome of grief, and the sweet scent of honeysuckle became a faint, ghostly reminder of what we had lost. Grief, they say, is a thief. But for me, it was a cruel architect, rebuilding my world with walls of fear and a ceiling of silence. In the wake of Mother's passing, my paternal grandfather, August Thompson, came to live with us. He was a man of stern words and even sterner gaze, a presence that loomed rather than comforted. After my grandmother's death, he'd been alone, and my father, with his boundless heart, welcomed him into our grieving home. I remember thinking perhaps this was a new beginning, a comforting hand in the dark. How wrong I was. That very night, the night Mother's spirit ascended to the stars, a different kind of darkness descended upon me. The air was heavy with unspoken sorrow, and the house felt vast and empty. As a child, you trust implicitly. You believe in the safety of your home, the protection of your family. But that night, my trust was shattered into a million irreparable pieces. The details are blurred, as if my mind, in its desperate attempt to preserve sanity, painted over the most agonizing parts. Yet, the feeling remains. A chilling violation, a betrayal so profound it left me breathless. He used my innocence as a weapon, twisting my love for my father into a tool for his control. "Don't tell your papa." His words were a venomous whisper. "You don't want to hurt him, do you? He's suffered enough." And just like that, at the tender age of 10, a secret was born. A heavy, suffocating weight that I was forced to carry alone. It was a secret that stole my voice, stripped me of my childhood joy, and began to hollow out the very core of who I was. Life, after that night, became a constant performance, a charade of normalcy I perfected for the sake of my younger siblings. Paul and Rosie, innocent in their own grief, looked to me, and I couldn't bear to show them the shattered girl beneath the surface. I became the little mother, cooking meager meals, mending torn clothes, and trying to fill the void Mother had left, all while navigating the treacherous waters of my grandfather's presence. Every creak of the floorboards, every shadow on the wall, became a trigger for the fear that lived perpetually in my chest. The house, once a sanctuary, transformed into a cage of my own unspoken torment. I learned to escape, not physically, but within the boundless landscape of my own mind. I built worlds where I was strong, where I was safe, where no one could ever hurt me. I'd lose myself in the pages of books, the adventures a fleeting solace from the terror that lurked nearby. Sometimes I would leave small acts of defiance, tiny rebellions against the oppression that held me captive. A misplaced tool, a dropped chore. Petty, perhaps. But they were my silent screams, my desperate attempts to reclaim a sliver of control in a life that felt utterly out of my hands. The bruises, both visible and invisible, told a story no one dared to read, a testament to the silent battles fought behind closed doors. The laughter of other children, carefree and unburdened, became a painful reminder of the childhood stolen from me, a melody I could no longer hum. My father, bless his kind heart, was a man consumed by his own grief, burdened by the responsibility of 3 motherless children. He worked tirelessly, his eyes often distant, lost in memories of his beloved Caroline. But even in his sorrow, a father's instinct, a primal knowing, began to stir within him. He saw the subtle shifts in my demeanor, the way I flinched, the shadows under my eyes. He noticed my grandfather's lingering gaze, the way his hand lingered a moment too long. A quiet man, my father, but observant. He started asking questions, gentle at first, then laced with a growing concern. My evasions, my mumbled excuses, only fueled his unease. The air in our small home grew thick with unspoken tension, a storm brewing on the horizon. One evening, an argument erupted. I don't remember the specifics, only the raised voices, the sudden, terrifying crash. I ran to the sound, my heart pounding in my ears, and there he was, my grandfather, lying still. A tragic accident, they called it. A fall, a head injury. The truth, the horrific truth, remained buried, a secret between a traumatized child and a father's protective fury. In that moment, a dark chapter closed, but the scars, though unseen, remained, a permanent etching on my soul. A strange mix of fear and a fragile, terrifying relief washed over me. The immediate threat was gone, but the echoes of his presence, the phantom touch of his cruelty, would haunt my dreams for years to come. After the storm came a fragile calm. My father, with a renewed sense of purpose, pulled us from the shadows of our old life. Aunt Louise, a distant cousin of my father's, appeared like a guardian angel, her eyes holding a deep understanding, a quiet empathy that spoke volumes without a single word. Together they began to piece our shattered lives back together. We moved to Fairview, a town where the air felt lighter, the possibilities brighter. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, I could breathe. I could learn. School, once a distant dream, became a reality, a pathway to a future I dared to imagine. My father found a new job, and slowly, painstakingly, we began to heal. Years later, when I was a woman grown, strong and resilient, I finally found the courage to speak. To Aunt Louise, I poured out the agonizing truth, the secret I had carried for so long. And in her eyes, I saw not shock, but a profound understanding. She too had walked a similar path, borne similar burdens. Her quiet affirmation, her unwavering support, was a balm to my wounded spirit. Sharing my story, raw and painful as it was the first step towards true healing. It was like lancing a wound that had festered for years, finally allowing it to breathe, to begin the long process of mending. It was terrifying, liberating, and utterly essential. Life has a funny way of surprising you, even after the darkest of trials. I met Anthony, a kind-hearted doctor with gentle eyes and a patience that seemed boundless. He saw past the remnants of my past, past the quiet guardedness, and loved the woman I was becoming. Our love story wasn't a whirlwind romance, but a slow, steady burn, built on understanding and unwavering support. We built a beautiful life together, nurturing 2 wonderful children, Charles and Mary, who filled our home with laughter and a boundless sense of joy. Every giggle, every milestone, was a testament to the strength of the human spirit, a defiance against the shadows of my past. I became a teacher, and later, a school principal. I poured my heart into shaping young minds, into creating a safe space where every child felt seen, valued, and protected. Life, of course, presented new challenges. I lost my dear father, and then my beloved Anthony, but their memories became guiding lights, testaments to the love and resilience that had carried me through. Even now, at 78, I remain active in my community, dedicating my time to helping vulnerable women and children, offering a hand, a listening ear, and a voice for those who feel silenced. My story, once a heavy burden, has become my purpose. I share it not for pity, but for power, to show that even from the deepest despair, hope can bloom. To remind anyone listening that their voice matters, that their story deserves to be heard, and that healing, though a journey, is always possible. This is my journey, a testament to the shadows I faced and the light I found. But every life holds profound experiences, lessons learned, and resilience forged. What moments in your life have shaped you the most? What stories do you carry within you? Join the conversation in the comments below. Share your thoughts, your feelings, or simply a word of encouragement. And if you've been moved by this story, please consider subscribing to Grandparents' Story for more narratives of strength, wisdom, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Your support helps us share these vital tales with the world.